Few of people saying that the French troops are in the coast end of the Burkina Faso boundary and the Mali boundary and the Niger boundary. So my question here is, how come do they pave their way up to Burkina Faso's boundary? How come do the French troop penetrate up to the boundary of the Niger, the Burkina Faso, the Mali? How come? Which road do they use? Which road do they drive on? Which road do they sail on? Which road? How come do they arrive? Do they find themselves at the Burkina Faso's territory? How come? Which land or which country they transited, or they walk through, or they pass through, or they drive through, or they fly through? Which are the boundaries? Because from France to Burkina Faso, there are a lot of countries that they crossed, they trespassed. So my question here is that if France should be allowed by any neighboring country, knowing fully well that they are going for a wrong mission, they are going for a disastrous mission, they are going for a fight, for crying out loud or for not crying out loud, those neighboring countries to France, they are all in troubles, because they are supposed to reject the transit of any country carrying out unlawful constitution, unlawful arms, going to destroy people's country or going to fight an injustice fight. So my question here is that, how come do the France military, because France is a country in Europe, how come do they find themselves in Africa? This is a question to be answered. And why am I saying this is because I want the Burkina Faso's troop, the Malian troops, the Niger troops, the AES troops. I want the whole of them to be finding their way to the France. If any country should uphold their transit or uphold their penetration, those countries should be dealt with, because it's the same country that those the French troops transited, they penetrated up to the Burkina Faso, the Mali, the Niger borders. So if the French or the France, I don't know what so called, if they should be able to pave their way or penetrate up to the Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea boundary, that is to say Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea, they have also the same right of transit, the same right of penetration up to the France boundary or to the France territory. Because one message I want to send to the Africans in this period of time, this is not the time that Africans should be defending their enemies in Africa. Any country that leave his country to penetrate up to your country, you ought to penetrate to his country. Africa want to fight with France, Africa is going to go to France. If Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, if they want to fight with France, they should find their way to France. This is the new era, because the injustice or the cause of losing or the cause of high potential authority against Africa is that they live from far away to come and fight you in your nation. So now, this time, any country that will be an obstacle of Niger penetrating to France, any country that will be an obstacle for Burkina Faso penetrating directly to France in attack, if any country, any nation, any neighboring country having boundary with France or having boundary with Burkina Faso, if they should not allow the penetration of the Burkina Faso's troop all the way from Africa to France, those countries should be dealt with. And this is my own message to all the military presidents in Africa. This is my own message to all the military leaders in Africa, the AES. Believe me, Biafra is with you. AES, Biafra is with you. Biafra military, the Biafran soldiers, the most dreadful soldier on the whole planet Earth, I declare the full support of Biafrans alongside with the AES. I am hereby declaring as the Lion of the tribe of Judah and as the Lion of Biafra, I hereby declare full support of Biafran soldiers with the AES, the Burkina Fasos, the Niger, and the Mali, and the Guinea Africans. Listen and listen carefully as I made a declaration, a decree and a declaration. AES should never panic on anything or should not even have any scary thought of anything that will happen in Africa, because the Biafran most dreadful soldiers of Christ, they are standing fully with their full support with the AES. So if the France should make any attempt of, if the France government or the France troop who are deployed to, I don't know where, if the territory of, I don't know who gives them that right. Sometimes I want, who gives them that right. How many Burkina Faso's troops are in France territory at this moment, at this time? Then what gives the right, what permits the right for France troops to be in the Niger territory? What permits the right? Any country that is having boundary with Burkina Faso, any African country having boundary with Burkina Faso, that through them the France penetrate into the Niger borders, those African countries supposed to be dealt with by the AES, by the AES military. They are supposed to be in the city of that African country, African nation that has allowed this injustice to occur in Africa. When one African nation rejects injustice, or the whole Africa is supposed to give a listening ear and take the same steps. I don't know what's really wrong with all these so-called politicians in Africa. Misbehavior, all of you are misbehaving. All the African politicians, all of you are misbehaving. What a shame. What a shameful people, misbehaving all over the world.